Hello, and welcome back to Vampire Survivors, not Nostalgia Nights this time. There was an update on this game yesterday, and I could not resist, and I ended up unlocking the new stuff, even if I wasn't able to stream. But that doesn't mean there's not stuff to do, because one of the new unlocks, let's see if I can find it, better to look at it on this screen. Is it number 10? No. Number 20? Yes, 20 makes it so that the less weapons you have, the more cooldown and might you get. And there's also this new item called, where is it? Where is it? Is it this one? Yes. With this one, you can, before starting a run, choose how many weapons you are actually allowed to get. So now I no longer have to do that thing I did where I just banish every single weapon that I don't want to have, because if I play my Poe, I have, 25 banishes. I can banish pretty much every single weapon in the game, except for one, which is the one I'm starting with. But now you can just do this. I want to try doing some low weapon runs on random characters. I'm not going to do one weapon, because I kind of, like, if I'm going to do a full run, I kind of want to try to kill death, just to get some free golden eggs out of it. Just to have like a little bit of a reward for doing the runs. So I might do 3. That way I have the starter weapon, I have the laurel, and I have the lancets. So I'm going to try 3. That's going to make me a little bit weaker in terms of not getting as much might and cooldown reduction, but it's going to give me some defensive options. I'm not sure if that's going to even out or if it's going to be less good or more good. Because if you think about it, right? If you go one weapon, you get a lot of might and cooldown reduction. But if you go 2 weapons, you don't lose that much, and you get to have twice as many weapons. So like going for like 1, 2, 3 weapons, I think might be like the sweet spot. But obviously, a bit of the appeal is to go for a single weapon. But I'm going to try to see if I can do 3 weapons to go Laurel Lancet and beat death with them. We're just going to start going down the list, I think. We're going to start with Antonio. These guys have gotten some new sprites. You can now toggle between the old sprite and the new sprites. So, like, there's a lot of new sprites here. Like, these ones have been over the last few updates, I think. But then we have Arca, Porta, Llama. Not Poe. Where's my Poe sprite from my Garlic Man? We've got, let's see, I believe there's, yeah, Z Asunta. It's got a new one. I kind of like the old one better on this one. I think the pixel art, like, and it's kind of like the pixel count might be better on this one. But this one is easier to see what they're trying to, like, depict. I kind of have to, like, focus a bit to see what they're trying to do here, and it's a little bit confusing. I think this one needs a little bit of polish so that it looks more like this one, but it still has, like, the advanced, up-to-date, new pixel art of the other ones. That's me being overly critical. I don't want to rain on anyone's parade. There's also this new character, which seems to have, like, a Kinder Egg item. But in-game, it actually just, it drops furniture on people, like a bunch of furniture. It's kind of funny. I also want to do a run at some point where I just go one of these characters that get bonus amount, and I just buy all the other ones. And then we go the Arcana that gives you bonus amount for these artifacts. Artifacts? Weapons? Why am I saying artifacts? I don't know. Let's get into it. Not gonna do hurry mode. We'll just start off with Mad Forest, Hyper, Arcanas. Yeah, sounds good to me. Also, I don't know if the music is going to be too loud. I turned it up a bit, so I never know the right music volume for this game, because I always, when I play by myself, I just turn the volumes a lot down, because I tend to watch YouTube on the side or listen to music or something. I can't do that when streaming for obvious reasons, and not to mention that would just kind of like make me not do my job, I guess, because I'm supposed to be talking. Which is fun too. I do like that. So I wanted to get this one, Silent Old Sanctuary. We get to have much higher frequency of attacks from the get-go, which is nice. And we already got the Laurel. We want to get the Laurel and the Lancet as soon as possible so we don't get random weapons I don't want. Because right now, like, I don't want any of these. So I don't have to waste the Banish, which I don't really want to do, because the weapons will be gone as soon as I get the Lancets. Waste a reroll, which doesn't have a high chance of giving what I want, or just use a skip. We'll use a skip for now. This weapon evolves with the Hollow Heart. If I wanted to, I could avoid picking up the Hollow Heart until I have 6 passives and pick it up on the map. I don't think I will. Spellbinder does nothing for this weapon as far as I know. I'm a bit over the whole like going beyond 6 passives simply because it takes so long to avoid picking up some of the things you might want for the sake of going beyond 6, and then the extra power you get isn't that big of a deal anyways. There's the Lancets. And a bit of a lag spike. I feel like this is still my favorite map. Although I do really like the new one, but that's also the music, the one that's like, that looks like it's in heaven or kind of some kind of pristine chapel or church. With all the different Reaper enemies. So for Arcanus this run, I should probably grab the Slash one for bonus crits on my whip, and then either... depending on how lazy I'm feeling. Do I want Candelabrador? I feel like I do. We'll pick up a Candelabrador. For... what was I saying? For the third Arcana, either the Saraband of Healing, because this whip is going to give me healing when I evolve it, or if I'm lazy, Mad Groove, simply so I can pull all the item pickups on the map to myself, so I can pick up the rings and the... what are they called? Metaglios? Clover? I feel like Clover does in fact affect crit, does it not? Maybe I should go this one. Because we don't need duration, and we don't need speed, so we should have a lot of free spots. We'll take a Clover, why not? There is a Clover on the map though, but it is what it is. Not even confident that I'll be able to win this run. I've tried a couple of runs with like only one weapon. Some of them work out, some of them feel it's a bit tricky. And I don't have eggs on any other characters other than like Poe and... what's the one that starts with a Holy Wand? That one. And I have maybe like 1 or 2, maybe 4 eggs max on like some other characters. Which doesn't make a difference. I don't have any eggs on this character. I should definitely level up my whip, though. And I definitely want the cooldown tome because I have so much extra cooldown reduction from the Arcana I'm using. And the higher cooldown reduction you get, the more potent it becomes, so... I really want to double down on that. And I do kind of want to pick up the... the box isn't that great on this character, though. Or with this weapon, specifically. I like the box that gives you Omni stats. But if I do that one, I'll probably banish it before the last rank to avoid getting the... do I go... oh, well, I'll take Empty Tome over that one. That's for certain. But the box, it gives area... does it give Might? If it gives Might, it might be worth it. But if it gives area, projectile speed, and duration, then projectile speed and duration do nothing for me. I'll check next time the box pops up if there's 4 stats on it. Duplicator is not too shabby on this one. Might want a Duplicator. What else would I want? Yeah, we're pretty set, actually. Yeah, I'll take a Duplicator. I guess I'll just take Hollow Heart as my last one. Or I can just pick up whatever else that seems good and then start running for the Hollow Heart, since I've already gotten 5 passives. If I see something else that's not the Hollow Heart that might be good for me, then I'll just pick it up and run for the heart. But no, we got the Hollow Heart, so we'll just take that. This is going to be our build for the rest of the run until we pick up the ring and the Taglio, assuming we get that far. I'm not super confident. We'll see what happens. I like having my Attract Orbs, makes it easier to pick up XP. But I've come to realize that the Attract Orb is kind of like almost like a placebo thing. Because if you don't pick up the XP, then it's going to start spawning XP orbs that are orbs, crystals, whatever you want to call them. It's going to start spawning XP that is worth more XP. So if you don't pick up the XP because you don't have an Attract Orb, then you'll kind of get the XP anyways eventually, because the game is like, oh, there's so much XP on the screen, we have to condense the XP into single units. I just like having the attractor because it's just satisfying to see all the XP fly to me. And it does help a lot until the point where there's that much XP around, so... It's feeling decently strong for now. But the wave I'm always the most worried about is like the 4 or 5 waves immediately after the skeleton wave at 11 minutes. Because then there's like werewolves, and there's werewolves and ghosts, and then there's werewolves and vampire bats, and then it might be vampire bats and mantises. And then eventually you get through the mantises and you get to the mummies, and then after that it's chill. Like, mummies is chill because there's like hardly any of them, you can just dodge them if you need to. And then everything after that is not really more dangerous than the things you've already faced, so from there it's usually a freebie. Until like 28 and 29 minutes, in which you deal with the glowing bats, which might overwhelm you depending on how much curse you have. We've got really decent ratio on the attack now, and the mantis is where? There he is, he's trying to make his way in. There we go, killed him pretty fast. The thing with running like only a few weapons is that I feel like you get a lot of power early for some weapons, but you'll hit your power cap very fast. So you better hope that power cap is enough to carry you through the map. I mean, if I get to the point where I can upgrade and evolve the Laurel and the Lancet, then obviously I'm fine, because with Laurel and Lancet evolved, you're pretty much unbeatable. I do have 1 million coins. I could just buy some golden eggs right now, but I don't want to. Why would I waste golden eggs on a character that I'm not sure if I want to invest in anyways? I already got all the golden eggs on Poe. I want to play golden eggs. Fire breath? I can save the fire breath for something else. Feels weird not having all the extra curse that I have on Poe. I'm so used to there being more enemies on the screen. But I should be glad there aren't, because I'm not that strong. It's just... I like the feeling of having a bunch of enemies, but just mowing them down. The problem with Poe right now is that he has so many stats, and there's so many enemies, and there's so many particle effects going on, that the game lags a bit. So, the game needs a little bit of optimization for, like, those high egg things. And that's probably not the main goal of the game, unless they want to, like, push for, like, a post-30-minute game mode, maybe. I wouldn't mind an endless mode at some point later down the line. If only the whip could strike beneath me, that would be really nice. That's not the point of the whip. That's what we have to compensate for, because we're playing one weapon, technically. Technically one weapon. Laurel and Lancet aren't weapons. But yeah. I would do only whip if it wasn't for the fact that then I can't really beat death at the end. But we are getting a little bit of benefit from having this Laurel shield, and the occasional freezes is helpful. It definitely helps. We do lose 16% cooldown from it. We could have, what, 85% cooldown right now? Not quite 85, like 78, 77. I think it's 77. There we go. Now we have 69%. Nice. We can't get any more percents on that. I tried doing a run of this on the character that starts with the pentagram. Unfortunately, if you just have the pentagram, you don't really get any XP. Because you start with one extra level. So if you don't spend that on the weapon, you have the option of either spending it on something like a crown for the evolution, or cooldown tome so that the pentagram triggers more often, or clover so you have a higher chance of retaining the XP. But the base pentagram only has a 10% chance to not delete stuff. And if you're not running golden eggs to give you higher luck from the get-go, then you're gonna have to somehow, with that 10% chance not delete stuff, get yourself to level 3 on pentagram to get that 30% or something chance not delete stuff. Not to mention at level 1, even with all that cooldown reduction you have, the pentagram still has about like a 30-second cooldown. I think it's 27 seconds if you hit like cooldown cap right from the get-go. We're almost getting to the good old skeleton wave. My favorite wave of all maps in this game, I believe. Which is very satisfying. But it's not as many skeletons as I'm used to now, because I've gotten so used to seeing the curse skeletons. It'll be nice once I get the... What's it called? Bloody Tear? Crimson Tear? Something like that. I want to actually lose as much health by running through enemies. I have the Laurel though, it helps. Especially with 69% cooldown Laurel. Makes it really good. Laurel is so good with cooldown reduction. Because on Poe, where I have 90% cooldown reduction, if I run the Empty Tome, then I'm pretty much invulnerable with the Laurel. Because it just charges faster than enemies can hit it. Because it has like invulnerability time. So with the cooldown reduction high enough, your invulnerability time is higher than the cooldown time on the Laurel, which makes you unkillable. So you don't even need to evolve it into Crimson Shroud at that point. But I don't know how much cooldown reduction you need for that. We're gonna hit that point with just Laurel here. But even if we don't hit it, it's gonna be good enough. And the only reason I need to hit on Poe, why I needed to hit the cooldown cap on the Laurel, was because I needed to... Not needed to. I wanted to be able to not move on the Bone Zone when the Green Reaper spawns. Because I got bored of running away from the Green Reaper. So I was like, I just want to sit and not have to run away from the Green Reaper. For that, I needed to be able to be invulnerable by the time he spawns. And since he spawns at 10 minutes, you're only going to have one evolved item at that point. Assuming you instantly kill the thing that the boss spawns at the same time as the Green Reaper. So, which I usually didn't until I got a lot of eggs. And which item could you evolve to, you know, not get yourself killed by the Green Reaper? Pretty much just Crimson Shroud. I'm not going to rush Crimson Shroud as first evolution. Don't even think I could if I wanted to. Without massively weakening my build. Powered card? Yep. I am tempted to already try to spawn. Ooh, I rerolled without looking what I had. I'm tempted to do this already. I think I will. Where's my mouse? I can't see it. There we go. Alright. Pick this up. Pick this up. Pick this up. Take the curse, why not? I shouldn't, but I will. We'll only fight one at a time, on the off chance that I'm biting off more than I can chew. We have plenty of time, so. Because you still do a lot of damage to me. I have the Laurel, though, but I don't know how long it takes to kill this guy. Just run through the skeletons real quick. level up Lancets. Spinach. I feel pretty safe with just the one. We'll go get more of them. There we go. Boom, boom, boom. I also love that this helps me pick up the XP orbs easily. And any other power-ups on the map as well. Okay, we're doing werewolves. Are we fine? Werewolves, hopefully. I would have killed these guys really fast if I had the slash first. Ah, still pretty fast, actually. And I love it when this whip has, like, permanent uptime. It looks like you're just in this blood tornado, fighting off enemies. And last one. Pop? Why is he not popping? Why does he have more health than the others? Did I just miss him with a bunch of attacks or something? There we go. So how safe are we by standing still right now? Like, sure, they can damage me, but I do have healing. And I do have good shield uptime. Pretty safe, actually. This is when I want the ability to swap from non-haste mode to haste mode mid-run. Although they have added bonus XP when you play on haste mode now, 25%. Which is kind of nice. But I just enjoy playing the early game without haste, and I enjoy playing the late game with haste. Oh, I do actually enjoy hasting myself to 10 minutes though, so I can get the weapon evolutions. That's something nice I've noticed about the dairy plant, whatever it's called. You can actually evolve weapons on that map before 10 minutes. Which is really nice if you have a lot of eggs, because if you're playing with characters with a lot of eggs, you'll probably max out every single weapon before 10 minutes. But you can't evolve them, and it feels kind of eh. Boom, boom, boom. Getting frozen so much now. Gotta max out some of these random passives to clear them off the upgrade table. I want to see what it's like to play the game from like a new save on like current patch. If it's any different than when I started playing this game. Not to mention how like the knowledge I have now would affect how fast I clear the game. Because when I started it was like... there was only 2 maps. It was this and library. Not counting like the bonus maps. And it took me a long time to beat this map. A long time. I don't know what's considered a long time, but you know. It felt like it took a decent amount of attempts. And it definitely took me a lot of attempts to manage to evolve an item, because I didn't even know if that was a mechanic in the game. I was suspecting that might be a thing, but I was just essentially guessing. I think my first evolved item was it the Hellfire? I don't remember. Well, we're doing good damage. And we don't even have slash. I wonder if we have like multiple whips activating at once. I feel like we might have. And they're not really knocking off my shield. I think maybe sometimes they are, but mostly it's just hopping between blue and green. we are leveling up Curse, so it will get more dangerous. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, we took damage for a second. Alright, let's max out the rings first. Chest tells me no. Oh, we hit the mummy wave. Now nothing's gonna happen for like 3 minutes. At least that's how it feels. I wonder what this wave looks like on my egg character, on Poe. If there's actually enough mummies for it to be like a normal looking wave. Because there's so few mummies. And this is with curse 50%, maybe a bit more than 50%, 105% curse actually. But normally you would have half this amount of mummies. They probably have a lot of health, but that just means that when you get to this wave on like when you're new to the game, you'll probably just like be avoiding the mummies. They'll never hit you and you'll never kill them because they don't have like, they have too much health, so. And there's not enough of them to actually be a threat to you. Okay, we got some undeads mixing in here. Zombos. Whip was actually a lot more effective than I expected. Especially without Slash. With Slash, Whip is insanely good, but seems to be doing just fine without it. Whip is not really a weapon I tend to run. I tend to not run like the Slash weapons typically, unless I do them all at once for the sake of going Slash. Just because I'm not a big Whip slash axe person. I like the daggers, even though they're a bit basic. I mean, I'm okay with the whip. The whip looks good. I'm not a big fan of the axes. The axe got a new sprite on like the item itself, but the axes you throw still look the same unless they've changed that this patch. And then the evolution, I don't like how that spiral looks. It's because it's like a scythe, but because of the proportions, it kind of looks more like a sickle, I think. Just the grip is kind of like too short and too thick. I think I would like that spiral a lot if it was just the sprite to look a bit different, because I like the concept of it. So you just throw a spiral of deadly weapons, and then you get the Arcanas to make them bounce around. And crits. Pretty nice. Did I max my rings? I did max my rings. Give me a chest. So how often do we trigger this thing? Okay, we are taking damage now. Let's get more enemies in here. See if they can beat me before I get the Crimson Shroud. I mean, the Reaper can actually still kind of beat me if I have the Crimson Shroud because I don't have enough armor. So it does do damage to me. Because its damage is capped at 10 with the Crimson Shroud. And I believe that's before applying armor. So my armor is going to reduce it by another 4, making it do 6 damage. And it hits really fast. And I have a lot of health, but like technically speaking, it can kill you. But if you get it down to like 1 damage because of 9 armor, and you have health regen, and especially if you have healing such as the whip, and also you have the shield from Crimson Shroud coming back every now and then, it's like cannot kill you. But the shield is probably fast enough recharging right now that death cannot kill me. But like hypothetically speaking, in terms of damage, it can still kill me. I should open some of these. One of these is going to be a tarot card. Is it this one? Nope. How about this one? Nope. How about this one? Nope. This one? Thank you. Yeah, I'll do slash. None of these are slash, no. What about this one? Get one more mount on my whip. Slash. Even though Saraband is nice. Now we do insane damage. And it's gonna be interesting to see how fast we can defeat the Reaper. I think I want to get enough cooldown reduction on random characters with eggs, so that if they go single weapon and the Arcana for it, they'll start off with capped cooldown reduction. They can have 90% right away. Some characters have cooldown reduction and can do that throughout the run. Oh, not right away, actually. Correction. I want to have it so that they get 90% cooldown reduction with the Arcana plus the Empty Tome. But some characters don't hit that, because this character is hitting... If I was running one weapon, I would be hitting 85% cooldown reduction, which is 5% off, which doesn't sound like much, but it does make a huge difference. I kind of just want to, you know, get another 5% cooldown reduction through eggs on most characters. But I say I want to do that, but I don't think I'll get around to doing that because there's a lot of characters. And it takes a decent amount of eggs to actually just get 5% cooldown reduction. I think every 5% took me about like maybe 200 eggs, maybe 400 eggs? No, 200 eggs, maybe 200 eggs. His Poe has 2,000 eggs. I think he has 1008 or 1009, but did I max my thing? Yes, I did. And he has a little bit over 50% cooldown reduction, but some of that is from the power-up that gives you 5% or something. So he has more, so he's gotten like 47% from eggs, over 2,000 eggs, or over 1,800 eggs. So. Might as well pick this up, there's no harm. It's a bit of a shame that the egg stats are randomized. I get the idea of it, and it makes sense. But when I want to do hyper-specific things, like get a lot of banish or a lot of cooldown reduction, if I do that through eggs, I end up getting so much power from everything else that I started like overwhelming the screen. And sure, if you could focus certain stats, you would get powerful faster. But when I go that far to get a specific thing anyways, I will be so much more powerful than I would have been if I just did the things I wanted to. That makes sense. Like maybe if I could do... I could either turn off eggs for individual stats, or you could like buy like a different kind of egg that's like 5 times the price, but you choose the stats, or 10 times the price, just like, you know, so that you can focus a stat to not have your build be so rounded that you have insane amounts of everything. But I also don't think that's a priority to add or change or do anything about, because I don't think eggs or egg-like systems should be a priority in the game at this point. They already added eggs, and it's something I wanted because I kind of just like the idea of having infinite scaling, so I'm glad it's there, and I don't really need to complain about it. It's just fun to think about, like, you know, how some systems could be different or how that would change things. But there are mods for this game, so like, for changes like that, it'd probably be better to rely on mods. I just, at the moment, I'm not touching mods, because I don't want to start tweaking the game in unintended ways, so... Even some of the mods seem really nice. There's a feature I would really like that I've seen that there's a mod for now, is... once you hit the point in the game where you no longer get weapon or passive upgrades, you only get the choice between the chicken and the money bag, there's a mod that makes it so it automatically picks the money bag. And that would be so nice to have, because clicking the menu for picking money bags gets a bit tedious eventually. I would even take a feature that just makes it so if I do automate it so I get the money bag or chicken, it either picks a random one, or it gives me less money, or it doesn't give me anything. I just don't want to press the button, essentially. Because it's 25 gold, it's not really anything anyways. Sure, when you're new to the game, it's not bad. But when you're scrounging to get your 10,000 gold for the sake of buying a golden egg, and you have gold fevers giving you 100,000 gold for 5 minutes, then the 25 money gold bank kind of becomes like, eh. Even if you do have like 200% greed, I mean, okay, you got 75 gold. Big whoop. And the money bags from leveling up don't even add to your gold fever timer. If they added to your gold fever timer, now that would be ridiculously good. That would be nice. I don't think necessarily they should, though. I'm just saying, if they did. Although I feel like every patch that comes out, the devs add at least one or several of the things that I've been like, oh, I want this. Which is kind of spooky, but also really nice. Because it makes it feel like they know what's going on inside of my head. Or well, I mean, I'm saying it out loud on my stream, but I don't expect them to be watching my stream. They probably got a lot better things to do. My guess would be either they have the same exact ideas for certain things, because they're pretty, like, you know, common ideas. Or there's other streamers out there, or other people making the same suggestions that I'm making. That would be the most logical thing. But it is very, like, fun and satisfying to see, like, the things that I'm being like, oh, this would be nice to have. And it's like, boom, there it is. Like, now we have, like, you know, play with only one weapon, or however many weapons you want. And before that, it was like, boom, here's eggs. And I can't even remember like how far back we go for like some of the things that have been added, because I can't even remember. There was like, oh yeah, before the Mad Groove, before Mad Groove was added, I was like, oh, it would be cool if there was like an Arcana that made it so like items on the map get pulled towards you. My idea was that they would get pulled towards you slowly over time instead of like teleporting to you every 2 minutes, but like, it's still like a similar concept. And it's wild to see those things just kind of show up in the game and be like, there you go, there's the thing that you wanted. And they're adding all these things as just free content to an already cheap game. Which is crazy. And I really do hope they're making like good profits on this game because they're being so generous. Even if profits is not their like, you know, goal, they still deserve it. Even more so, to be frankly honest, like if you're making a game because you're passionate about it, then being rewarded for that passion is just fantastic, you know? Because that's how I want the industry to be. If I could, like, you know, if the industry could be anything I wanted it to be, then I would want the industry of making games to be an industry about making things you're passionate about. And, you know, that is a part of the industry. But there is also a large part of it that is about, you know, trying to make calculated sources of income. And that's why you see, you know, when a certain game genre is popular, you'll see more games of that genre pop up over the next 2 years. And that's not simply because people happen to be passionate about the same genre. Although some of them will be. Sometimes our other devs will be inspired by the creation of a new game, and they will be like, I also want to make something like this. And other times will be devs that are like, well, this is making a lot of profit. Maybe we can also do this to make a lot of profits. You know, cash in the current trend. And I love it when you see passionate projects get rewarded for their passion. Now, how long is it going to take to beat this guy? That's the big question. Considering the damage, I think we'll beat him before the second one spawns, actually. Could easily be wrong, but we'll see. Yeah, we beat him before the second one spawned. Nice. Bong. It's been a while since I actually let this cutscene play through. I usually quit out when this happens. And I like that they introduced this guy as kind of like a this is the end of the run kind of thing. But then introducing a guy like this really makes me want to be like, oh, but I gotta find a way to beat this guy. Also, I love if you run towards him, it looks like he's running away from you. It's so funny. The faster you can run, if you go towards him, it looks like he's backing off. And he's like, no, 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 stay away. That was Antonio Belpaez, or Belfaez, or whatever, how you pronounce that, I don't know. So, how about Imelda with the magic wand? It's gonna be not a lot of AoE. And we'll do library for this one. Oh yeah, give me this green one. Thing is there even gonna be any point in taking cooldown reduction? Because when this thing evolves, it has permanent uptime. Does cooldown reduction affect it at all at that point? I mean, we'll take cooldown reduction because it's needed to evolve it, but you know, just throwing it out there. And what kind of Arcanas do we want? I kind of want to get the free stuff. The free stuff is kind of fun. You can also go the bounce one. But since we only have 2 options, if I go freeze, and freeze explosions. Either that or bouncing and freeze. I think I want to go freeze and freeze explosion. I think I need some much needed AoE when I'm just running this weapon, I think. Not to mention it's going to work with the Lancet as well. It means we're not getting Mad Groove, but it's not that hard to get Mad Groove on this. Well, not that hard to get the rings and stuff on this map because you only have to run 2 directions. Still quite a run, but still. We're already getting overwhelmed because we only have single target damage. It does get some punch through eventually, though. Unless we already got it and I didn't notice it, because I'm not really looking at the level up menu anymore. I'm just clicking buttons. I kind of know what I want, even if I don't know why I want it. Torona's Box. We benefit from all of these except duration, I think. We'll take it. But we'll banish it before 100% if we're not extremely powerful by the time it gets to level 9. Because I don't really want to have an extra 100% curse if this character struggles with beating this run. And we're already struggling, because this is supposed to be the easy part where you, like, if you have garlic, you can just run into these guys. I do want spinach. I do want the extra damage. We'll grab spinach. I wonder if that buffs the damage of the ice explosions as well. I feel like I'll technically get the wand evolved before it evolves, simply because... Oh, I got a little orb in my hand. I didn't even notice that. That's cool. I'll technically get, like, the evolved one before it actually evolves, because I'll have such low cooldown that almost will be like a pseudo-evolved holy wand. Oh no. I'm surprisingly tanky. I think I just don't do a lot of damage, actually. I probably have, like, 3 armor, actually. I wonder if they could add a passive item that's essentially like the piercing. That makes projectiles go through things. That's only a stat that's available through evolving and leveling up weapons. Give me more damage. I'm tempted to get wings just to grab the pickup items faster, but I don't think I should. Because I want Bracer and I don't really want Candelabrador though. That seems excessive. Like, sure, it makes the projectiles bigger. Well, it might make the explosions bigger. Okay, now I'm curious. Okay, let's just do a quick rundown. So I don't need any of the 4 top things. I already got Might. I have room for Bracer. Don't need Duration. Have cooldown. Amount is not that big of a deal. Revival, no. Ninth we have. Luck, no. Growth, no. Greed, no. Curse. You know what? Let's try it. I'm probably forgetting some item because not everything is on this list on the side here, but let's give it a try. Let's see if it affects the explosion range once we get the... I mean, I won't know if it affects explosion range because we already have the thing. We won't be able to compare it, but... And if it doesn't, at least we get to have some big looking magic bolts. But we're not going to have the exploding ice until 22 minutes anyways. Unless we decide to go for just the Lancet one first, which feels wrong, because we're not really building around Lancet. We just have Lancet for the sake of beating the Reaper. Also, I like that they added the option to swap between old and new sprites for characters, but I still want the option to swap between, like, just using any character's appearance for any character. Because I want to be able to use some character appearances without having to use either their passive or their starting weapon. Some of the sprites look really cool, and I just want to play that character without playing that character. So not as much damage as the whip quite yet, but still not bad. Although I'm not sure if you can do more damage than the enemies have health. Maybe the amount we're seeing is just based on the enemy's health. Guess we'll see towards the end. Okay, it's not quite as fast as Holy Wand in shooting speed. Probably because I have the Laurel and Lancet in addition. Let's see. Yeah, we'll get some more size. They'll look pretty nice. The bolts when they get bigger. All stars. Start moving towards the rings and Metaglios. Yeah, I want Bracer. Although I was planning on taking Bracer because it works well with the bouncing shots, but I'm not going to go bouncing shots after all. Still, having them go faster is still good. And also fun. Also, they added this interesting thing now. Once you max out a passive, if that passive is also on the map, it disappears. Which is kind of interesting. I think that's a good change. There's a lot of small changes that aren't mentioned in the patch. Maybe they're mentioned further down, actually. Maybe I'm just not scrolling far enough down. I'll check afterwards. Normally I don't even read patch notes because I want to be surprised by what's new. But I think last few times I've been checking, like, the headline was like, 1 new this thing, 2 new of that thing. That guy spawned very early. least he's not that fast. I feel like the chests prioritize weapons over passives, because sometimes I have passives that can be leveled up and it still just gives me gold when I have maxed weapons. I feel safe here. Actually, I don't. I was pretending. I want my evolved wand now, please. Trying to take a lot of damage. It's trickling us down. Ow. Oh yeah, this is actually the way that's kind of dangerous, because there's a lot of enemies. Well, it's ending soon. It's fine. Keep pumping up Laurel in the meantime. Also, I love how when you get both Metaglios now, it automatically moves them together. So they combine into like shared sprites. Because I always tried to pick them up in the correct order to make them do that, but often it became kind of inconvenient because they are on the opposite ends of the map. Now it does it automatically. You don't have to worry about it anymore. It's like this kind of quality of life changes that doesn't like maybe it doesn't really change anything, but it makes me feel good. And I'm glad they're doing it. I'm not sure if they're doing it because they also were bothered by the same thing, or if they're just like, hey, some people are bothered by this thing. Yeah, I want to beat this weird fidget spinner guy. Fidget spinner guy, please take damage from me. I need you to drop a chest so I can evolve my wand. Thank you. Laurel and wand. Thank you. Yeah, that's definitely faster. But it's hard to make sure that's hitting the bosses when there's so many enemies on the screen. But we'll get a tarot card soon. Not gonna be the explosion one though. Get this guy, just hug him. There we go. It's gonna be the freeze everything thing. But if I freeze them, they cannot be frozen, can they? This one. I don't think they can be frozen. Level 7 Laurel. But it makes it safer for me in general, because other frozen enemies don't damage me. Ow. Should probably just start moving across the map, shouldn't I? Oh, we got one. Nice. Interesting how they put both of the beneficial ones on the same side of the map. So they have like the Metaglio that gives you health and health regen, and the ring that gives you base area on the left side. And on the right side, they have both the ones that give you curse. I don't mind that though. I find that very beneficial. If I want curse, I can go one way. If I want beneficial bonuses, I can go the other way. Oh. Thank you. It's interesting if you play the character that starts with the guns, if you pick one weapon, you still start with both guns, which I think is good. But it's just very strange to see like the one gun that's kind of crossed out on the top, even though you can still use it. But it's good because otherwise you would have to do 2 weapons just to combine them into the one, and then you would have one free slot you don't want after that. So yeah, it's good it works the way it does. Though with the Metaglios always like combining themselves on the sprite on the passive list, maybe it would be nice if every single item in the game had like a fixed order on the list. So everything just like, for example, whip will always be the first weapon on the list no matter when you get it. Got him! There we go. Am I banning the box? I am taking a lot of damage. Am I banning the box? I think I'll ban the box. We have enough enemies on screen for now, I think. And we'll get cursed from the other items, so... I think we'll ban the box this run. Really cool mechanic. Just be like, oh, I don't want to get 100% curse. I'll just ban the box. I should look for candelabras though, so I can get some chicken. Oh, we can get a greed mask as well. Why not? Doesn't hurt. I have not seen the candelabra in so long. That is a boss. That did not give me the chicken. Okay, we gotta be a bit careful with that Medusa lady, Gorgon. We are taking a lot of damage and it's slowly killing us. I would very much like to just get some healing. Oh, I should just level up the healing one. Oh, why didn't I think of that? It's because I usually never level that one up because I don't find it that useful. Okay, let's hide in the ones that are frozen. Then level up that health region one. How much max health do I have? Not that much, okay. Healing. Eventually it will be a good amount, right? Ooh, a tract orb. Give me that. That is one of the stats I would just pump all the way up. If I could choose where the eggs get invested, I would just pump it all into attract orb magnet stats, so I just have massive pull range. Are we safe? Not sure if I feel safe. Oh, here comes the Gorgon. Down she goes. At least once we level up everything, I can actually eat some chickens. I beat the bat, there we go. Took a while. Is my voice quiet today? I'm not sure if it's I feel like it's sounding more quiet than usual. There we go, that's decent health. How close are we to the Metaglio? Getting close. There's 3 candelabras, not a single chicken, wow. I feel scammed. Oh, 4 candelabras. And fire breath. Is always appreciated. Get him! Not quite, almost. Probably almost, I'm just guessing here. But I have a strong feeling he almost died to that. Because I have one-shot them with Fire Breath before, but that's been on, yep. Characters with more eggs. Because that's how I started farming eggs. When I had very few eggs, I would play this map over and over again. I would just hunt the mask guys. I would just play this map on... Was I playing on hurry mode? I don't remember if I was playing on hurry mode or not. Probably couldn't play on hurry mode because I didn't level fast enough at the time. But it essentially allowed me to get 9 eggs per 15 minutes, which was better than what I could do by going for money at the time. It was essentially 90k per 15 minutes, meaning if I wanted to do Bone Zone, because at the time I couldn't do Bone Zones and get the eggs from the bosses because I wasn't strong enough. So if I wanted to do Bone Zone, I need to get 180k gold, and usually I only got 90k gold from doing Bone Zone anyway, so I might as well do this map. But it really depends on which character you play, because I was playing Poe, and Poe, without a bunch of eggs, he doesn't really do that much on Bone Zone. But if you do some of those characters that have like scaling stats per level, so if you go with like the lady with double guns that gets might per level, or you do the new one that gets like Omni per level, then you can probably easily do Bone Zone pretty low egg amount, maybe without any eggs, and still do good money and all the bosses and Reaper. But Poe, not really. Not consistently. It was like a big hassle to run away from the guys, because that was the main issue, was that I was not fast enough to run away from the guys. That I would have to invest into wings to be able to run away from the egg guys. And if I invested into wings, I lost a lot of power elsewhere. And would just negatively impact my ability to earn money. And if I don't earn money on Bone Zone and I just get the eggs from the bosses, then I might as well be doing this map, where I can do it twice as fast. But now I can do both in Bone Zone easy. Now I just instantly grab Mad Groove as my second Arcana, because my first Arcana is always the Gold Fever. And then kill them all instantly. On hurry mode too, because don't got time to play non-hurry mode. Especially not when you get like a bunch of weapons and the game lags so much that the game only progresses 1 second every 8 seconds. It's probably faster than that if I don't go Saraband of Healing. But if I go Saraband of Healing, for some reason Saraband of Healing lags the game so much. It's probably because it has that visual effect, plus it damages everything based on your healing. So it does a lot on the screen at the same time, and has to like kind of ensure everything is working the way it's supposed to. So Saraband of Healing lags a lot. So with Saraband of Healing, like 8 to 16 seconds can pass without an actual second in the game passing. Because I think I've had like a game running for like 2 hours without it being beaten or something like that. Luckily, it's only like the last 5 minutes that lag that much, so it's not the entire run that's that slowed down. It's just the last 5 to 10 minutes. Can I hug this guy because he's frozen? Get him! Oh, now I kind of want to play Killing Floor. I haven't played that in so long. I really need the AoE Arcana. I am not killing things very fast. If you look at the kill counter, like, sure, it's going up, like, you know, decently, but not amazingly. Like, my time to kill one enemy is pretty decent, but I'm only killing one enemy at a time. Maybe 2, because of the pass-through. So, let's keep an eye on that counter and then see how that changes once we get the Arcana in a few seconds, because this should be the Arcana. Make sure we get the right one, don't mess this up. This one? Oh, okay, yeah, that's a map clear. Is it? Oh, Does it not count in the freezing from the shots, though? It does, right? Yeah, it does. And now we got wave clear. This is a whole different game. It also looks pretty. And I love that the build is like thematically colored. Like we only got blue weapons and blue explosions. Sadly our little shield is golden, so it doesn't really match, but... I love it when you can build builds in games that are like color schemed. You can stick to a color. You can stick to a color or stick to a theme. That's why I'm not a big fan of Path of Exile. Like, I love the idea of Path of Exile, and it should be a game I really enjoy. But there's two things that like kind of make that game not enjoyable for me. Two main things. And one of them is such a core aspect of the game that's never going to change. So that's just going to like, it's always never going to be a game for me because of this. I'm not a big fan of when you cannot change your build or go back on your decisions in a build. And to some extent you can do that in Path of Exile. You get like a couple of like respec points, but that's not good enough for me. I want to be able to like experiment, and I want to be able to experiment in a way that doesn't involve creating a new character all the time. Because when you're new to the game, you don't really know what you should do and what you shouldn't do. And I'm not the kind of person who enjoys, when I don't know what to do in a game, I don't enjoy just following a guide or like following someone else's, like, this is the build you can do for like a new player. Do this and just follow this recipe. I don't enjoy that. I want to be that player who like stumbles and fumbles because I don't know what's going on early on, because you only get one opportunity in each game to be that person, right? Once you understand the game, you know the game, you can't be that noob anymore. So I enjoy the feeling of being a noob, but because how you can't really change your decisions in Path of Exile to a reasonable amount, the fumbling becomes too punishing, and I don't have the patience nor the time to make 100 characters just to try small different changes in my build, because I wouldn't like, I don't want to like completely do a new character. Like I'm not going to do like a mage one time and then be like, okay, I'm going to go like a sword guy or something. This is generalized, you know, but I want to be like, okay, I want to do a mage, but I want to like tweak this a little bit. Like, do I want to go like a little bit more like casting speed, or a little bit more like a mount, or like a little bit less health or more shield? Like I want to just try small tweaks, and I'm not going to make 100 mages for the sake of trying 100 small different iterations of mages, but there's not enough respec points to actually try 100 different respects of mages. Not to mention I can't go back and forth between two ones to compare, so I can't be like, okay, this is mage that focuses a little bit more on damage, this is a mage that focuses a little bit more on defense, which one feels better for me, hopping back and forth a little bit to see like what feels good and what doesn't. Is like, you can't do that as far as I know. At least when I played Path of Exile, you only get like a couple of like 20 to 50, if I had to guess, respec points. 50 is probably a stretch, but I don't know. So that's reason one. That's reason one that I have a hard time getting into Path of Exile, even though I love the concept of the game. Reason two is, say I would do like recipe build and like follow someone else's build and just do what someone else is doing. Most builds are mixed damage, because overcoming resistances and having the option to like beat certain enemies, blah 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 blah, and it's generally just good to have mixed damage. But I want to have thematic, fun builds. I want to be able to be like the epitome of an ice wizard, right? I want to just like have all ice damage, everything be ice damage. But what is this guy? What are you? What are you? I've never seen you before. What? That's a new thing. That was cool looking. But yeah, there's so many aspects to a build in Path of Exile that even if you go for an unoptimal kind of like only one damage type kind of build, it's very easy to like end up having some other damage types in your build. And it's like, I want to be one damage type. I want to be one theme. I want to be one kind thing. And I want to be like the best at that kind of thing for my build. But that's not really the builds that pop up in Path of Exiles. I watched people play the game, and I see them be like, okay, it's a bunch of fire explosions and lightning explosions if you do magic, and if you do not magic, then you'll be mostly physical with like some fires here and there, or maybe some chaos or something like that. So yeah, it's that. It's that not being able to, or feeling like I can't go for one thematic build that is very like about the theme rather than being min-maxed and efficient, and also the not being able to respec to try changing small aspects of my build to find something that fits me. Which is a shame. It's a cool game, but it just ends up not being for me. So I just gotta hope there are more similar games that are more up my alley, I suppose. And I've kept an eye out for like Path of Exile-esque games that are up my alley, but haven't found the perfect one yet. The one that I stick with. I'm actually leveling quite high. Probably because this character gets like free growth, right? From leveling up. How much growth do we have? 45. I believe this character caps out on growth pretty early on, but still. Still a bonus. I need to do a run where I try to get the highest level I can. I need to see if I can hit level 300 now. Problem is I probably don't have patience to do like a full 30-minute run, so I'd want to do like a hurry mode. If I do hurry mode, I won't get as high level. Oh, lag? For some reason this computer lags randomly when playing games. It's a bit inconvenient. Sometimes it doesn't though. I'm not sure what causes it. And if it's something I should be concerned about. Ooh, I took a lot of damage there. Is there a boss? I guess all of these guys are bosses, technically. That's a lot of damage considering I have the Crimson Shroud, though. Or was I already low on health? I just didn't know. No, I'm taking a lot of damage. Alright, let's hug you. We can perma-freeze you. If I stand inside of you, can I hit you multiple times with the same explosion thing? I want to see if I can beat you before the second one spawns. I mean, we have really good single target damage. It's hard to tell. Because the whip did really good as well. We're hitting faster, but we're not hitting as high. The question is how much faster. I mean, ultimately what matters the most is how quickly the infinite corridor ticks. Which is ticking equally fast, so... probably around the same time, to be honest. So, 5 seconds from now. I mean, almost 7 or 8 seconds. That's a lot of levels. Are we level 200 yet? Might be close. 160 to 180 maybe? Here he comes. Get him! He's like, no, stay away! Stay away from me! Ah! I would love it if they added a feature to this guy so that he just consumes all your revives in one go and makes you get the gold you would get. I mean, quitting out is the option, but... Level, does it say level reach? 208, yeah, we hit level 200, dang. Not bad. There is a character that gets more growth than you, though, because you get 10% every 5 levels, max 30%. You get 10% every 5 levels, max 50%. So that would be interesting. The quirky white bear. I haven't tried this character yet. Should we try this character? Let's try this character. On this map? Yes? Here's what I'm gonna do though. I'm gonna be cheeky. I'm gonna grab the whip and fuse them. And once they're fused, I'll grab the other weapon. There we go. Duplicator? Probably not. Oh, I could just level up the whip. What am I doing? My brain. Not active. So did I start with high cooldown reduction, or was that just because I had a single weapon or something? Tronus box? It's not that great with the... Well, it does increase might. Let's just get the lance. Wait, lancet or... Nah, I think laurel is more important. Get Tronus box, why not? Ooh, we got a lot of area now. Ooh, that is a lot of area. Oh, dang. I wonder what's a good amount of eggs to have on a character without it being too much. So I kind of want to get some more eggs on some characters just to like have a bit more fun with playing them without it being like a massively back from the character I have eggs on, but I don't want them to be like so powerful that nothing I do on them matters because they're just god mode. I'm curious if I should get like 100, 200 eggs on some characters or something, or if that's still too many. I kind of just want to get like the 5% extra cooldown reduction. Maybe like 1 or 2 a mount. A couple of banishes and extra pickup range. That's why I kind of need like another income of stats that isn't the eggs. Because the eggs just have such a high risk of like maybe giving you too much. How much health does this character have? Oh, a lot. Do I have negative greed? Actually, I don't. Because this was like a secret character for playing this map and using Mad Groove. And when you do, if you pick up something that spawns, I don't remember, then a bunch of werewolves attack, and if you kill them all, then you get this character, I think. What stat do we have now? Because it keeps changing between what? I don't see any stat that's abnormally high. It'd be nice to know which stat I have at any given time. And as soon as I max this weapon, I should be able to fuse these. So that's how it works on this map. You can evolve right away, I think. I want to get Clover so I have the extra crits, because this thing has crit by default, so you don't need to go slashing. I need to check the slashing tout card if it still has this weapon listed on it, because if it does, maybe you can double crit. Super crits. Oh, we got the area buff again. I do want Candelabrador, but we can pick that up on the map. I'll pass for now in case I want more things than I can normally have. But look at this area, this is beautiful. How big is it? Does it tell me on the menu? Oh, it doesn't. I don't know what I have. I also have really good damage. Alright, give me the box. Use? Yes! Critical hits might generate explosions. Oh, it does like a little thing around me. Did it always do that? Because that's very nice. So I kind of felt bad that I like lost the whip portion of this and only kept like the other whip. I'm not really getting a lot of passives that I want this game. What's up with that? Like, give me spinach, give me clover, give me maybe duplicator. That looks beautiful. Now you can give me the Lancet again if you want, game. Or Laurel. Either is good. Spinach. I think we're taking spinach. Don't see why I wouldn't. Maybe I should start moving myself towards the... No, because I don't have any passives yet. I want to move myself toward... I should probably grab the wings first. It's probably the way to go. Also, I didn't know this map spawns with attractor orbs around the map. That's pretty cool. Like, not the item, but like the power-up that pulls everything to you. Get the wings first once I pick up something, because the wing is going to help me get the other things faster. We got a werewolf character, and we got ghost characters, and we got the Reaper. And we probably won't get a vampire, at least for a long time, because it's called Vampire Survivors. We're trying to kill the vampire. Would be silly if he joins us once we beat him. Although so many of the things we fight don't feel like vampire or undead themed, so like it almost feels like there's like a bigger threat at play, but hey. If it's like Castlevania, Dracula, then who knows what kind of other things they've roped into it, you know? Just because you're a vampire doesn't mean you have to have an army of the dead. You can have an army of whatever you want. You're a vampire. Do what you want, as long as you manage to, I guess. I feel like they like roped in some like eldritch beings into this. And some biblical angels. I am not getting passives this game. I would like to not have to use my rerolls or banishes for something silly. If I can just get the Laurel and Lancet, so I don't see weapons anymore, then I can start banishing the passives I don't want. But we need to get something new soon because we're still, like, we're gonna run out of things to level up soon. And that's a problem. This is probably the map I've played the least. It also used to be the map I found the most dangerous. Probably still is, to be honest. Not counting Bone Zone. Not counting, like, bonus maps. Like, the normal map I consider the most dangerous. Alright, Torona's box. Let's go, Curse. Why not? Because I got nothing else and I don't want to banish it. I'll take the extra enemies. We'll play the challenge. We're playing a secret character anyway, since secret characters are kind of OP because they get, you know, level 2 weapons or like evolved weapons from the get-go. Game. You need to give me some passives that I want, or Laurel Lancets. I swear it's rigged, because I keep getting the same options. I'm convinced that this game has like an RNG state, and it selects the RNG state at the beginning of each game. And because of that, you're likely to see many of the same options in the same game you play, depending on the RNG state you got. At least we got Lancet now. Which makes sense, because we saw Lancet early on, and if my RNG state theory is true, then that means we'll keep seeing Lancets at least sometimes throughout this playthrough. Now that we have it, then we'll see it even more. And we saw Agati again, so... And Lancet is already maxed. That is unfortunate. Because I don't want any of this, so... Skip. Empty Tome I do want, thank you. Plover I do want, thank you. About time we got something good. Which things do I get on the map? I do get a tractor orb on this map. I should probably not have picked that up, but well, it is what it is. Let's see. So we can pick up armor, don't care. Wings is okay. Candelabrador I do want. Is there anything else I want? Let's see. Might, speed, duration, area, cooldown, mount, revival, magnet, luck, growth, greed, curse. I think what I want is either a mount or curse. Curse would be fun, and mount doesn't change that much, I don't think, for this weapon anyways, so I think we'll grab curse if we see it again. Just to go like really high curse for the sake of fun. See if we can survive. And this will also be the last run for today, because I don't have time for more after this, sadly. So this will be the last one. I've got quite a few things I have to get done today, so it is what it is. This is actually my first time playing this character, though. I unlocked it, but I didn't play it. I was too busy getting golden eggs for Poe. This is a nice change of pace. If I just hadn't picked up the attract orb item, then we could have had both duplicator and Skull of Maniac. I never know what it's called. Okay, next time we see it, pay attention. Because I never know if it's Manic or Maniac. Money bags. We still haven't seen the Laurel, which is worrying, to say the least. Step on a trap. I like these traps. No thanks to those. It's nice to be powerful enough that I can use the skip mechanic without screwing myself over. Because if you're playing like a character that is a bit more tricky to play, and you don't get the build you want and you have to use skip, then that feels so bad sometimes. I would love it if skip just allowed you to... That would be the same as a reroll though. I know that they give you extra XP if you pick skip, but I don't know. Skip does feel a bit underwhelming. Say with Banish. I almost feel like Banish should allow you to pick something after you Banish, but then it would be like a better reroll. Well, no, if Banish allowed you to pick something after you Banish, but it's only of the choices you still have, then it would be fine. Like, if I Banish kind of Labrador here, if I could still pick PH1 or King Bible, that'd be kind of nice. That way you could also Banish multiple things at once. That still leaves, like, skip to be, like, the worst one. I mean, they hand out the most skips usually, but still. Maybe just increase the amount of XP you keep when you use skip. I don't know how much XP you keep, or like how much you get towards the next level. But maybe instead of putting you towards next level, it could keep you at the current level, but like put you like a very small amount of XP away from the level, kind of deal. That way you can't use skip as like kind of like a trick to get many levels. Although it would be cool if that's what skip does. What if skip was like a trick you can use to like level up faster without picking up things? Like really fast. For the sake of like buffing up characters that scale levels. Okay, am I close to the wings? I am in the wrong direction of the wings. And there's a chest up here. And I have still not gotten the Laurel, so I probably have to start banning things. Yeah, tarot card. What are we picking again? Saraband isn't bad, but it lags us. I'm not gonna take it. Yeah, doubles overall critical damage. Woo! Yeah, give me that. How big can these crits be? I think I saw 300 there. Or at least like a... Yeah, there we go. 303. I saw one. Skip. We're running out of skips. Well, if I can just get to the wings, then we'll have something to level up again. Skip. Otherwise, we'll start banning. Wings, thank you. Level up wings. We're gonna start running for the Candle Labrador. Should I be picking up Mad Groove? I might pick up Mad Groove because I don't know what to get. Because Saraband would be the thing to get if I want to get something strong. But I feel strong enough already. So I can save myself some running around by getting Saraband, because technically I should be running down here to get the ring. But I like to get those last. Are you a boss? Yes, you are. Did I max wings already? I did. That was fast. I wonder if this weapon also gets stronger with speed, because like it's stronger when you move, but it's also stronger when you move faster. Maybe I should try this weapon along with the new... Maybe I should try this weapon along with the new Arcana. The one that makes it so garlic, the Thunder Ring, and the Holy Water is stronger when you move. Because this is already stronger when you move, so maybe that would be like a good synergy. And then maybe add in like the Shadow Pinions, Pinions, whatever they're called. That also like a good with movements. Then it kind of becomes too many weapons, because I usually have to like squeeze in Laurel Lancet in my build just to do the Reaper, because I want to. But there's a lot of weapons that scale with movement now. I really love that they added a Arcana that buffs Scarlet though, because Scarlet is my one true weapon. We're gonna run out of banishes. Thank you. Banish. The problem with having these weapons that scale with movement is that I feel like most enemies gather behind you when you're moving quickly in a direction. So, sure, you're stronger when you move, but you don't get to hit as many enemies by moving because they'll gather away from you and not towards you. So unless you do like, hold on. Unless you do this, which becomes very tedious, or you do this, which is also a little bit tedious if you play on keyboard. If you play on a controller, it's not that tedious. Am I close to the ring? Kinda. Oh yeah, especially for beating guys like this, it's kind of like tedious to have movement-based weapons because you don't really want to move around these guys too much, especially if you can't move towards them, because this weapon wants to face towards the enemy, but if I'm moving, it's hard to face it towards the enemy. Would be good on the guy who... does that work on the whip? Probably doesn't work on this. If it did, there's the guy who has like negative 105% projectile speed. That shoots backwards. If I could just get that to make this thing aim backwards, so I can shoot behind me instead of in front of me, that would be better. This weapon does look amazing now. But I need a character or passive or an effect that makes so that every single weapon gets like RGB colors. I just need RGB colors for everything. Oh no, it's gonna force me to get something. Game stop, I don't want any of this stuff. Game stop it, I don't want, no, go away. Oh my god, I hate it when... Oh! Ah, rip. I hate it when... I try to reroll. And I press twice to reroll twice, but it's moved back to the menu. I got fire one, I didn't want it. Sadly, that kind of works out in a bad way. because apparently I miscalculated on time. I actually don't have time to finish this run. And since I messed up the build, this is a bit anticlimactic, but we will end it there. We will end it there. It's a shame we did not get to finish the build and beat up death, but we would easily have been able to. And we had most of the build going. Like, not much would have changed if we got any more stuff. So that's going to be it for now. We got a golden egg, a single golden egg on this guy. This guy's kind of fun. Should probably play this character more. I also want to play this character more. The problem with this character is that I have to unlevel the power-up that gives me projectile speed, because right now I'm negative 80%. That's kind of meaningless. I need to have like negative 105 for things to go backwards, or negative 100 to make things stand still, which is even more fun. I love that. They should have just made this guy have, well, the point was for him to have things go backwards. So either they should have made it so that he converts every percent of projectile speed into -1, so you can't really get to the +1 again. Yeah, I shouldn't even say or, because that's what they should have done, in my opinion. And then instead, they should make a different character that has -100 and can never change away from a -100, that always has to standing still. Although it's kind of fun to have slow projectiles as well, so I guess it's fine. It allows you to do all things. Like, it allows you to do the one where things go backwards, the thing where things stand still, or the thing where things move slow. So I guess it's ideal what they did, actually, when I think about it. It's just, it's not that he's the problem. It's the fact that managing your power-ups without refunding every single one is a bit tedious. If you could refund a single one, so you could just decrease the levels of this, for example, that'd be more convenient. I haven't bought this. I forgot that I got a new reroll when I played the new patch. I'm going to buy this, and we're going to end there. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again next time, and even if I don't, have a great day, and I'm going to peace out. Alright, bye!